Nicole Flint is awesome. I love having her on this show, and I love having her in the federal parliament. Sadly, she's not going to be in the federal parliament after deciding to hang her boots up, and why wouldn't she after what she's been through as the member for Boothby, the horrible stuff she went through at the last election. And she is the type of person that you would think the modern environment would like to give a massive hug to and hold up as an example of somebody who has been treated very, very poorly. But because she's a Conservative, no. Apparently she secretly deserves it because, of course, she's a Conservative. In her farewell speech today, while she was listing all of the incredible things that she's done as a local MP, as a passionate advocate, as a part of a good government, she said this about her treatment, especially from the left.
Men on the left, some of whom are public figures of influence, have done the following. They've stalked me, suggested I should be strangled, criticised the clothes I wear and the way I look, called me a whiny little repeatedly called me weak, a slut, a and apologised for the language, and much, much worse over email, online, on YouTube, on Facebook and on Twitter. They've commented that I should be raped, grudge that I am doing sexual favours for all my male colleagues, that I should be killed, that I should kill myself, and many, many more things that I will not repeat here. So, to the left, to Get Up, Labor and the unions, the left-leaning media, you know exactly who you are. You need to finally show some leadership and put a stop to this sort of behaviour. If they don't, well, they're not really leaders then, are they?
Oh, Nicole Flint, who joins us now. I know that's tough. I know you've been through the ringer, but I don't know if congratulations is appropriate, but thank goodness you had the strength to do what you did. What a way to walk out of the parliament, mate. You are an absolute hero to a lot of people watching and the bloke you're talking to now.
Paul, as always, you're very kind. You've been one of my greatest supporters. You've always called out the absolute disgusting behaviour and slurs that I've put up with, but I couldn't leave this place without pulling it all together, putting it on the record and saying the left need to do better. We, as the federal government, led by Prime Minister Scott Morrison, have done so much to help protect women, to improve the treatment of women, and it's now up to Anthony Albanese to step up and finally do what he said he would do last March when I announced I was quitting and called on the left, and particularly called on him to do better, to protect all women, not just women on the left. And he has miserably failed, which is one of the reasons I said the things that I did today.
Now, we're just seeing on the screen the standing ovation that you get from your colleagues. What was happening on the other side of the parliament?
Well, there weren't many people there on the other side, Paul. There were a few brave souls, and I give them full credit for being there. The Chief Opposition Whip, Chris Hayes, who is an absolute gentleman, Madeleine King, who's always spoken out about the rubbish treatment that I've received at the hands of the left, Graham Perrott, and Stanley, who's one of my fellow whips as well. And I know it was uncomfortable for them, and so I give them full credit for sitting through what was a fairly tough assessment of their leader. And what I couldn't say in Parliament, what I alluded to, was the fact that last year I gave a very emotional speech about why I was quitting, about the abuse I've been subjected to, about how we need to protect all women in public life. And Anthony Albanese, Leader of the Opposition, fronted the press gallery and said, when instances of sexism, misogyny, dangerous behaviour towards women are drawn to my attention, I will act. I have written to him twice, most recently in December, immediately after the Friendly Geordies launched their second disgusting, disgraceful attack on me and their followers. And I've given a number of speeches to Parliament. What I've been through has been in the media, and the Leader of the Opposition has been silent. So what I wasn't allowed to say in Parliament today, because it's considered one of the most unparliamentary terms, which is a four-letter word, which is he lied. He is a liar, Paul. He said he would act and he hasn't. And it's not just about me. You just had Erin Molan on your show, such a strong, intelligent, gutsy woman who has made her career in a traditionally male-dominated area, which is sport. She has been subjected to the most vile abuse, and her beautiful little girl has been subjected to the same as well. This is not just about me. Women in public life deserve to be safe. But if we don't have the Leader of the Opposition saying all women deserve to be safe, enough is enough, I'm going to call this out, then why will the left stop, Paul? You and I know that they won't.
No,
because they want to destroy us, and they don't care what it takes to get into power.
100%. And look, you know, I spent some time at the start of today's show talking about how the fake independents, and one of them wants to try to take the seat off the Liberal Party at the next election, but less free publicity for her, the better. Is that they think they've got a hack here, right? Which is you constantly tell women between the age of 35 and 54, problem with women, problem with women, problem with women, problem with women, problem with women. And then you start to selectively appeal to certain people and certain electorates, problem with women, problem with women, problem with women. And then they can magically unhook the country from the Liberal Party for a generation. The reality is that, you know, obviously, I'm not going to say your age, but you're in the demographic that I'm talking about here. But they couldn't care less. They couldn't care less about you as being a strong advocate for the government in that age group to those people who are like you, sitting back going, no, hang on, whoa, 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 whoa. If, like, look, fair dinkum, politics has a problem with women, the internet has a problem with women, but I'm not going to let you make this a Liberal Party problem with women. So I want to ask you this. To people in that demographic who are constantly being sold this con by the fake independents, why will you continue to vote for the party that you have been part of for a while?
You mean why should they continue to vote for the Liberal Party, the National Party and the Coalition, Paul?
Yeah.
Because we have done more, and Prime Minister Scott Morrison has done more to help and protect and support women than any other government in the history of this nation. We have record domestic violence funding. We have record women's economic participation. We are helping women with catch-up superannuation contributions. If they've had an interrupted career while they were having their kids, they can put more money into their super. We're helping single mums get into their first homes. Minister Michael Sukkar has done brilliant work in that area. But just as importantly, maybe more importantly, for any parent or any young woman out there today who's like, this online abuse is terrible. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about the impact on kids, or as I know through the evidence that's been given to the Select Committee on Social Media and Online Safety, there are women about my age, a bit younger, saying, I'm not going to take that promotion because I don't want to have a public role, because I'm terrified of being abused and destroyed online. So we have introduced the Online Safety Act. This is a world-leading act that gives the eSafety Commissioner huge powers to pull down hideously offensive content, and that will protect not just women and adults from cyberbullying and cyber abuse, but just as importantly, young people, Paul. And I know for all of your mums and dads watching tonight and grandparents, they are terrified about the impact on kids. Tomorrow we'll be debating the trolling bill, so that will unmask the trolls. And again, Erin Molan, full credit to her for her bravery in speaking out about the abuse that she has suffered. And she has supported this legislation. I'll be speaking on it, and I'm very pleased to see that going through as well. So we're doing a huge amount. What I want to know is, where is Anthony Albanese? Because I can tell you where he is: missing in action. He's not here for all women. So all of these attacks that they've launched on the PM are so disingenuous. And he has today really been exposed for the liar that he is, because he stood up in front of the press gallery just outside the corridor where I am right now, Paul, in your studio, and told the press gallery and the Australian people he would stand up for women where he saw them being abused with sexist, misogynist attacks. And he hasn't done that. So, you know, the Australian people, I know that they will make up their own mind, and I do not think that they will judge him kindly because of this.
Nicole, you are a rock star. Thank you for what you've done in the Parliament. Whatever you do next, we will cheer it on here, and you're welcome here anytime. And feel free to send me some of the words you couldn't say on in the Parliament today, because even with parliamentary privilege, wow, I learnt a few things. Nicole, we love you. Thank you so much.